Somerset made it through to the quarter-finals of this season's Friends Life T20 competition after a dramatic finale at Southgate, where Middlesex scored 17 off the last over, the most expensive of the match, to tie. Marcus Trescothick won the toss and elected to bat first, and after a quiet first over, in which 6 runs were scored, Craig Keyswetter, back from his success with England, struck the game's first boundary. Trescothick played a more cultured stroke in the same over as the visitors got their innings going in what was a must-win or tie game for them. Trescothick is just going through a bad patch for him in this competition, and he was out to the first ball of the 4th over, but only thanks to a great catch by Tom Smith above his head on the boundary. Trescothick was out for 8 and was followed by his opening partner Keyswetter, who skied Tim Murtagh to mid-on where Tom Scollay held on, as Somerset could only reach 38 for 2 at the end of their 6 power play overs. Southgate is a ground where low scores have been the order of the day when the professionals have arrived over the years. Somerset were watchful then rather than explosive until Peter Trego hit Smith over long on for a 6. He then cut Newman Dexter for another boundary as the rate just started to pick up, taking Somerset to 62 for 2 at the halfway stage of their innings. Somerset, though, were really struggling to find the boundary and had to deal mostly in 1s and 2s as the Panthers bowlers kept things really tight. 4 overs went by before Trego found the fence again off Dexter. But in trying for more, Trego perished off the bowling of Smith as he edged to Anthony Island to go for 36 at 81 for 3 in the 14th over. Going into the last 5, Somerset had managed only 5 4s and 1 6 in their 91 for 3, so James Hildreth decided to press on by pulling Ryan McLaren for 4 number 6, and number 7 followed next ball, this time with a well-timed cut shot to bring up the 100. McLaren did get his revenge, however, by bowling Hildreth for 31 with a beauty. The big crowd had been denied too many thrills, but Kieran Pollard was now in, and he smashed an island slower ball into the spectators with a flat-batted shot. But the 17th over ended with a right mix-up between Pollard and Joss Buttler. McLaren made a superb stop and Buttler was sacrificed at 112 for 5. Pollard was now key to Somerset making a good score, and he played some neat shots in between the attempts at some massive hits. This one was a big one, a slice drive off Island that still had enough on it to go the distance for his second 6. Aril Sapaya then cut the same bowler for a 4, as the visitors were threatening to finish their innings strongly. McLaren was the pick of the bowlers, and he picked up his 3rd wicket in the final over as Pollard nicked him behind to go for 33, made from 18 balls, as Somerset ended their innings on 143 for 6. The Panthers had made changes to their side and opened up with Sam Robson and John Simpson, but Robson was out in the 3rd over, edging Lewis Gregory behind with a total on 8. Newman played himself in before hitting Steve Kirby for the first boundary of the innings in the 4th over, and he followed it up next ball with a pull shot, which also went to the fence as Middlesex tried to make a good start. Newman looked in tremendous touch once he started hitting the ball, and he was dealing in boundaries alone, striking another 3 in the next over, bowled by Gregory. Newman was timing the ball superbly and striking it with a good thwack. Simpson too began to find his feet as Middlesex began well, reaching 41 for 1 at the end of their power play overs. Simpson, though, soon fell when he was bowled by Max Waller's second ball for 18 at 54 for 2. However, when Waller dropped in short, there were some easy pickings, as Dexter proved by pulling him for a 6 to take his side to 71 for 2 at the halfway stage, 73 more needed to win. But they then lost Newman, coolly caught on the boundary's edge by Murali Kartik as he went for another big shot, but instead departed for 33 at 74 for 3. Jamie Dalrymple wasted no time in getting on with things with a fine glance off Pollard as the Panthers stayed with the rate required in what was promising to be a tense finish. And they continued with that with a boundary per over, Dexter finding the fence in the 13th. But Somerset also kept themselves in it as Dalrymple was held at long off by Waller off Kartik for 10 at 91 for 4. 47 were required off the last 5 overs, and a couple of bad misfields kept the Panthers just on top. But then in the 17th, crucially, Dexter was caught behind off Lewis Gregory for 33. so 32 were now wanted off the remaining 3 overs. Tom Scollay kept it very interesting by putting the ball right between 2 fielders on the straight boundary. And that left the Panthers needing 25 off the last 12 balls. But Gregory put his side ahead by bowling Scollay off the second delivery of the penultimate over. Gregory finished with 3 for 26, leaving Pollard to bowl the last over, defending 18 runs. 2 came off the first ball, and then McLaren struck 2 huge sixes from successive balls to almost snatch victory from what had looked like a certain defeat ahead of the last over. It was a brilliant display of hitting from the South African. He tried to win it with a hat-trick of maximums, but this time he got under the ball too much and skied a catch to Butler, who kept calm to hold on, leaving 4 to win off 2 balls. 2 came off the penultimate delivery, and then Smith squeezed the ball for a single, meaning that the game was tied, which was enough to put Somerset through to the quarter-finals. It was a fantastic end to finish off Somerset's qualification season and the Panthers' home run in this summer's T20. Decent weather, a cracking game and some fine performances meant it was an afternoon enjoyed by all.